Just really proud of our response from the other night and the first 4 minutes of the game. Ace sort of corralled the group there and just said, we're not going through this anymore. And that's what leaders do. And we're not starting games off, and we just got to continue to keep getting better. But I love the resolve we had today. That was, we stuck to the game plan of really trying to deny and disrupt them and really be active on the ball, limit their threes, and we did that the whole game. And, you know, they made some twos, of course. The big guy got going, but they couldn't make enough twos to get back in the game. And we turned them over, and usually Davidson doesn't turn the ball over. We turned them over, and we got points out of it. So I thought a lot of guys contributed. I thought our bench, you know, they weren't there the other night. I thought they were great today, not just because Shrive made shots, but their defense, some really good subbing where they helped keep the run going and keep some of their better scores, you know, off the sheet. So just really proud of the guys. You know, now we'll celebrate this for 2 hours and right back at the next one. Here it goes.
What were practices like the last 2 days?
Truthful?
Yes.
Truthful. You know, we can't just go and have an old-fashioned 3-hour practice because you're mad about the last game. That doesn't make any sense. We had another league game, and you know, after the other day, we had 16 more league games. So as much as we hate losing around here, it's not the end of the world. You got to learn from it. And I tell these guys, I mean, the life lesson of all this is things don't always go your way. And in basketball, that's, you know, was so important to us. It doesn't go your way in basketball. It's how you respond to everything. It's how you grow from it. And I thought we did that today. But our practices were very truthful. Film doesn't lie. Our approach doesn't lie. And sometimes it's good, and sometimes, like the other night, it wasn't, and that wasn't good enough. But the players talked about it a lot. You know, we have a pretty good leader in Ace. He's not afraid to tell the guys the truth, but also not afraid to get the truth. And that went around the team, around the program, and including the coaches. And we all got to do better. We all got to be ready.
Coach, what's the best thing the film is telling you? What's the worst thing the film is telling you?
Well, number one is it starts the games. So, you know, you try to do a couple different things. The way, you know, we try to start off the game, who's starting the games, how we're going to sub quickly. And it's always different. That's just how it goes. But you learn different things. But we're trying to flow into the game instead of have a will and be us. And we're going to keep addressing it.
Talked about the bench, 30 points from most of them were David.
Yeah, Shrive had a lot to do with that, yeah.
But some good minutes from Nick. And so what does it take about the all-around?
Yeah, you know, the other night, we didn't get much from the bench. And I challenged them in practice in the film, just like, you guys got to come out, you got to make a difference. And it's not by getting a double-double, it's your intensity on defense, it's getting a loose ball. It's maybe the guy you're going in the guard just hit some shots and you know, you turn his water off. Like, that's the approach you got to have. You got to always play for the name on the front of the jersey in everything you do. And when you think that way, you end up playing well. So you're not thinking about you. You're not thinking, I got to do this. I'm just going to play the right way for VCU and for my team. And usually you play well. And it's a lesson I always tell our young guys. Like, I know you want to do this and do that in your career. You will. But work on this first, and it usually happens. And that's where you get clear minds. I think David was pressing for a while this year. Like, I have to make shots because they want me here to make shots. And I told him the other day, I was like, you have a great stroke. Everybody tells you to shoot the ball even when you miss. You're pressing yourself. I said, go get some rebounds. Work on your defense. You're a shooter, man. Keep shooting. And I said, if we're going to go down, I'm going down with you. I said, but you got to be you. And I just think it's coming, and you saw that today.
Coach, how good is Ace at knowing when he needs to go from Ace the distributor to Ace the scorer?
Well, you know, if Ace was a quarterback, he would run it and pass it. You know, it's just he hasn't. I wish I could say his coach, but he has an innate ability to make plays. And when I say make plays, it's not always for himself, but for his teammates. He just knows how to play basketball in activity, in action. He doesn't need a lot of space to make a play. If a player is out of position on defense, he sees it quicker than others. Guys get shots, guys get the ball. He's really good at drawing fouls. So he just has an innate ability at a high speed to make plays. But he really worked this offseason. When he got hurt with his Achilles, the only thing he could do is stand and shoot. That really helped his technique, so he became a better shooter. This offseason was the first offseason he got when he got here, since since COVID, that he really worked on his game, and he got his mid-range and his pull-up better. And you're seeing that work show up at game time. But he's just a really good basketball player, and he's not afraid of the moment. He's not afraid of the moment, and you want to help guys understand that. But he had that since the day we started recruiting him.
Shot the lights out from beyond the arc tonight, and not just David, but it seemed like everybody that shot was making them. What does that do for the team? The energy in the building gets going, and one shot falls, somebody sees another shot fall, and then all of a sudden they start going. How does that feel?
Yeah, I mean, it just gives you confidence, right? You see the ball go in, you think the next 5 are going in. So that just gives you confidence like any player. But I thought we just got high-quality shots. I thought guys came off ball screens and found the open guy. We got, inside-outside action where we got paint touches and we shared the ball. The ball got hot. And honestly, I thought we took 3 bad shots out of 24. I thought we took 3. And one of them was David's heat seeker there, which I would shoot that one too. So, so don't force. Get team shots. That was one of our offensive emphasis for this game was team shots. VCU scores, and our passing allowed that to occur. And when you make some shots, that rim gets bigger and bigger.
The energy in this building. How does that affect the team as well when those shots start going in? Ace mentioned it leaks into the defense.
Yeah, I mean, look,
It's
our
right?
fans, our band, our cheerleaders, our dancers, when our students are here, I always say this, this is a fun place to be when there's a basketball game, and they help us, and I think these guys give the fans great joy. And when the ball starts going in and we get the press going, it's entertainment. It really is. It's a fun game to watch when you're sitting in the stands, but it's also a fun game to play, especially when you're playing around fans that really care about our guys. It's a special place. Always has been, always will be.
You mentioned a lot of times about dealing with adversity. How do you overcome the adversity? They easily could have solved after trailing 10-0, kind of going back to Wednesday, and then they turn it around in the first half. How do you think the guys handled Wednesday coming into today and dealing with the 10-0 start, and then?
Well, truthfully, we're just an immature team. I mean, we have some young guys, and we have guys playing new roles, but I think, and I'm saying it because I think that's why we could take big steps as we move along. When you're immature, you don't always react to adversity correctly, but you got to go through it. And my greatest growth in my life was when I went through adversity as a player or as a coach or as a person, right? That's when you find more about yourself, and then you figure out, I got to handle it differently. I got to handle it better. I got to work harder. It's the truth. Some people steer away from adversity with excuses and blame, and then I think others who are true competitors, they deal with the truth. And hey, I got to do better. Yeah, I got to do better. Our staff's got to do better. You don't point fingers. But the best way to go through adversity when you're on a team is together. And we're going to continue to go through it. They're college students, 18 to 22-year-olds. There's going to be a lot of it. But man, I know this from going through it myself as a young player and as a young coach and an older coach. It's always going to be there. You can't run away from it. You're going to go through it. Down 10-0, a bad foul, somebody gets injured, COVID, whatever it may be. You're going to go through it. So as a leader, how are you going to handle it? We're going to handle it straight on, head first, and I'll be at the front of it. And I got to teach these guys how to do it. We'll all teach these guys how to do it. And if that's the one thing they can learn at VCU going into the rest of their life, they're going to be all right. But, basketball's our vehicle to do that, and we're going to hit it. So I think adversity reveals your true character, and we talk about that all the time. And the truth and adversity, when you go through that, that's when you grow the most.
And bouncing off of that, with the 10-0 run that led to, I think it was like 19-4 run for you guys after that, what were the biggest adjustments you made?
Just activity on the ball, denying disrupt. We got after him a little bit more. I thought we started finishing at the basket, and it was just a slow start, like taking the first couple minutes of the game to get in the flow of it, and can't do that, man. Can't do it. We got to continue to work on it.
Menenga, when he was in, was like, you look like Patrick Ewing down there. And you've got Tom Welch coming up, who's like the most efficient scorer in the paint in the country.
Yeah.
And you have Jerron Holmes. Do you think this was just foul trouble or big?
Yeah, well, some of it definitely was foul trouble, and
Attack that?
one thing that we did though, they have a specific offense that they run for years, and they didn't run it as much today because of the way we denied stuff and took away threes and guarded the ball. So they broke from that, and now they went to a good player. That's usually, that happens, but it was all twos. It was all trying to attack at the rim. Now, we got to get better at that. I think we have some guys that can guard people in the post, even good players, one-on-one. Fouls did occur with that, but we got to do your work early in the post on post defense. And I thought at times we got caught behind early and got him positioned. And I think we got to do a better job of digging in the post. The guards can help a little bit more. Something we got to definitely address with some good players. And there's other things we can do too. I'm not going to reveal all them, but if you can guard people straight up in the post, that limits threes for sure.
Coach, following up on that with the post play, Jalen Deloche getting into foul trouble, how do you handle a player who's upset with the ref and he comes to the sideline and you're having to?
Well, sooner or later you got to learn on your own. Like we work with them. Is the refs are doing their job. You got to do your job. And you got to react the right way, and then you have to have discipline. If you're bringing your arms down on square ups, you got to be disciplined and keep your arms up no matter how hard he hits, because we work on it. We work on vertical square ups. We work on our arm bar, and he's done it before. But he's still a young kid. He's still figuring out, and you got to be able to adjust in the heat of the battle when referees call certain things. And you got to make sure you're disciplined when there's action around the basket of not just slapping down. It's where you get your body in and your disciplined positioning and building a strong foundation and making that guy, if he's going to score, he's scoring over you without you whacking at him. It's just, we got to get more mature with it.
When Jalen was in foul trouble, how much of a luxury is it to not only have a great backup five in Brandon, but one that changes what you do? It turns you into more of a scheme type of VCU offense.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's great about B. Johns is you can play him at the 4 and the 5, but when he's at the 5, he's so versatile that we have different angles of screens with him. We can put him in different spots in the court. You saw it the other night. He took 5 men off the dribble, so that's huge. Now we need our young guys to give us some minutes. Toby gave us some minutes, but those guys got to help us too, because you can't just rely on B. Johns. I mean, he loves it because he played 26 minutes the other day. I think he played 30-some. He loves it, but it's a long season. We got to get other guys to step up. I do think when we do play small at times, Nick has done a really good job at the 4 because he plays so hard and he's not out of position. So we have some options there, but B. Johns, you're exactly right. He gives us great versatility. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.